Hey, shalom, shalom. This your brother JAHsh. All praises to Yahweh God and to his king, Dawad. So I'm just going to get into this real quick expose. We're just gonna revisit, and we're gonna talk about why it is that Yahweh, the God, the All, Alahayim, why it is he saves King David, right? So it goes like this. This is Psalms 18. This is verse 24. I was perfectly innocent with him, and I was vigilant against my sin. Yahweh repaid me in accordance with my righteousness, according to the purity of my hands before his eyes. With the devout you act devoutly. With the wholehearted man you act wholeheartedly. With the pure you act purely. And with the crooked you act perversely. I want y'all to remember that. With the crooked you act perversely. For it is you who saves a humble people, and haughty eyes you bring down. For it is you who will light my lamp. Yahweh, my all, illuminates my darkness. Remember this real quick. Let's go to the next page. Number 31. The God. His way is perfect. The promise of Yahweh is flawless. He is a shield for all who take refuge in him. For who is God besides Yahweh, and who is a rock except for our God? The rock who girds me with strength and who made my way perfect and trained my hands, who straightened my feet like the hinds and stood me upon the heights, who trained my hands for battle so that a copper bow could be bent by my arms. You have given me the shield of your salvation, and your right hand has sustained me, and your humility made me great. You have widened my stride beneath me, and my ankles have not faltered. I pursued my foes and overtook them, and returned not until they were destroyed. I struck them down, and they could not rise. They fell beneath my feet. You girded me with strength for battle. You brought my adversaries to their knees beneath me, and my enemies you gave to me in retreat, and my antagonists I cut them down. They cry out, but there was no Savior, even to Yahweh, but he answered them not. I pulverized them like dust in the face of the storm. Like mud of the streets, I poured them out. You rescued me from the strife of the people. You have made me the head of the nations. A people I did not know serves me. At the ear's hearing, they obey me. Foreigners lie to me. Foreigners are withered and terrified, even from within their fortified enclosures. Remember that. Even from within their fortified enclosures. Yahweh lives, right? Remember that. Yahweh lives. Blessed is my rock and the God of my salvation. And the God of my salvation is exalted. The God who grants me vengeance and subjugates nations beneath me. You rescue me from my foes, even above my adversaries, you raise me. From the man of violence, you rescue me. Therefore, I shall give thanks to you among the nations, Yahweh, and to your name I will sing, who magnifies the salvations of his king and does kindness to his anointed one, to David and his offspring forever. So as I was reading this, I emphasized certain portions of this because this is a great lesson or great example of Dawad in action, of Yahweh in action, of Yahweh's power upon Dawad in action, right? Because a lot of people will take these things and personify them in some physical manifestation, and you will be fooled, right? But all of these powers involved in Dawad's salvation are supernatural. Remember that. Not natural, but supernatural. Right? There is not anything that I could show you to personify these things that's going to be an honest portrayal of the force or the powers that they are. You have to have this within you to understand. Now, these principles can be personified and illustrated as examples, but they will remain just that, right? It's like having an action figure. The only power that action figure has comes from your imagination, right? So, what does Yahweh do with those who act crooked? Yahweh act perversely, right? That's why, Yahweh knows sincerity, right? Yahweh knows sincerity. You don't have to put on a show to show people that you're sincere. It doesn't say anything about that in here, right? And Yahweh will fight your battles because he knows you're weak. Rather, he knows your weaknesses also, right? Right? Shield of your salvation. If I was to pick up this pen and I say, this is the shield of my salvation, would you believe me? How can I show you that this is the shield of my salvation? If I draw this right here, and I put a 9 in between it, and I say, this is the shield of my salvation, would you believe me? Of course not. You would understand this is a personification. And the only power that this has is what I tell you it's supposed to represent. Therefore, the true shield of Dawad's salvation is given to him from Yahweh within him. It is a power. It is a power. Right? This is what our brothers and sisters need to realize. This power that Yahweh gives us is within us. Right? The God who grants me vengeance and subjugates nations beneath me You rescue me from my foes. Even above the adversaries, you raise me. From the man of violence, you rescue me. From the man of violence. Therefore, I shall give thanks to you. To who? To Yahweh among the nations. Yahweh, and to your name I will sing. Make music, make melody. And who magnifies the salvations of his king, and does kindness to his anointed one, to Dawad and his offspring forever. My praise is to Yahweh, and I sing a song of the magnificence that he has done for Dawad and his offspring forever. One more thing. It's crazy how much these brothers and sisters that are filled with these devils. Here you go. Proverbs 21. Wine makes a scoffer. Strong drink makes one cry out. Cry out. Boast and scoff and boast and scoff and boast and scoff and boast. And whoever errs after it will not grow wise. Remember, we're supposed to grow wise. So whenever strong drink makes you boast and scoff and cry out and scoff and cry out and scoff, what does it reveal? Abstention from quarrel is a man's honor, but every foolish one reveals himself in it. Abstention from quarrel is a man's honor, but every foolish one reveals himself in it. Reveals himself in quarrel, scoffing, and crying out off of wine. It's easy mathematics. That's about the most simple mathematics. Not even using numbers right here. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Very simple, right? Counsel is like deep water in the heart of man. Shalom, y'all.